doggerel. Whoa! Whoa! Looks like we got money. Looks like we got base package again. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Project Driveway. For any new subscribers, welcome. My name's Paddy. I've got some work to do to Dopie today. I'm not gonna lie, been lazy and sick all week, so I've left this until Friday afternoon when I'm meant to be doing other stuff. But we're gonna upgrade Dopie's brakes. On this side, yeah, it started eating at it, and because like I said, I've been lazy and sick all week. I've just been driving on metal because that's the way I like to live. They are no-name rotors with Project Mu NS 400 rear pads, and it actually seems like the pad has worn out before the rotors. But to upgrade, I've got T2 DBA rotors, which have the kangaroo paw print inside to help ventilation. They have crisscrossed even it says it here, bisymmetrical curves which help vibration, heat, a bunch of all different things, pedal feel. It's also coated in a paint that won't rust, so anywhere that doesn't get any friction, which is obviously the actual top of the top of the rotor, back and front, that's going to get friction, so it didn't need paint there, but it's got paint everywhere else, which is all good. I'm not sure if this is for all cars, I could be wrong, but they only go up to a T2 in the rear for the 8.6. I'm pretty sure it's the same for Subarus, I got a feeling, but it could be different for other cars and stuff like that. I've got T3 rotors on the front. Let's have a look at these things. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's the rear. They're 286 millimeters in diameter. That's from here to here. If you do have an 8.6 BRZ or 8.6 BRZ or an FRS, if you are in America and you're watching this, check the rotor sizes, because mine's a GT. The GTS has 190 something. This has 186. It's actually different diameter, which I was really surprised because I thought they were all the same, other than cosmetically, but obviously it's not. So yeah, GT is 186, GTS, which is the model up from mine, I think is 192 or is it 196, and then BRZ might be one of the two. I'm assuming it'll be closer to the GDS than the GT, but I could be completely wrong because they do come out with Brembos as well. T2 DBA rotors come from Australia, that's good, and I'm going to match that with Winmax W3 pads, which are a little bit different to what I wanted to go. I want to stick with the Project Mus, but had some info about them just being bad and bad batches and cracking halfway through their life and all that stuff, so I'm like, you know what, let's change it up. Let's go to some Winmaxes, because apparently these are half decent, so it should hold up for some track abuse. Winmax W3 brake pads are steel base compound, so it's suitable for like light track days. Obviously, like if your car is track orientated, probably upgrade, don't go for these. These are probably intermediate, like going from your everyday use to your track use, probably really good. But I'll give you some feedback to actually let you know, because the other Project Mu brake pads I was extremely happy with. So I got the car here, jack it up, take the wheels off, take the rotors off, it's only a couple bolts, pop the brake pads out. Let's install these Winmax W3 brake pads with my T2 DBA rotors.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on two separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
So when you get up to this stage, when you want to pull your rotor off, you got two options. You can either hit it on the back here with the hammer, drop your handbrake so you can actually rotate the actual rotor around, or you can get M8 bolts and one in there. There's another one down here, and that will back the rotor off. This one here is to get through to adjust your actual handbrake. I should actually probably drop my handbrake because it will be binding up on that. Beautiful. Let's take it to my bench. So this is the driver's side rotor. Obviously you can see some real gouges in here and whatnot, but as long as there's no cracks or anything and there's a little bit of meat on there, should be fine to machine these another day. So you look at that, I've actually got heaps of meat, and I mean a good half a brake pad still there. Wow. Okay, there was still plenty of meat, which we're gonna have to do some investigations and pop on over to the other side, pull the wheel off, pull the rotor off, have a look, and have a look what's actually causing the gouges in the bottom edge of the actual rotor where the brake caliper clamps onto the rotor, because this one's fine, the rotor's actually fine as well. Hello. Hi, dog girl. Whoa! Oh, it's actually not that bad. It is bad. No, it's not actually. I like. So we're gonna pull this guy off, and it looks like there's no meat. The meat has been chewed up. It's done its job. So we got 14 mil. One's up here. Hopefully you can see. The other one is at the bottom. Don't undo these two because this will actually separate your caliper apart. So you don't need to do that. Oh boy! Look at that. That was my brake pad. Ha! Look at these gouges. That's from this bad boy here. From the support of Facebook, because I wanted project moves. This is what happens with project move pads. They get like halfway through their life and they go kaput. That is funny as. So that's why we're going to change to Winmaxes, because as you can see, where's the other half of my pad? Like, here's, whoa, it's like it's split down the middle. Oh no, actually here we go. Talk about rip. This is the inside, this is the outside. The outside seemed like it was wearing okay until this one gave way, which it should be sitting something like that, has given way and then has bent, and then it started eating away. So good job. At least I found out what that noise was. I'm a little bit bummed about that because they still had like half a life in them. W3 Winmaxes, let's compare them. On one, did not have even wear whatsoever. It's on the piss. Here's the new one. So that's how much more meat I'm going to have. And let's have a look at the bent one. So this is the one the chunk actually came off, and then due to that, my piston has actually bent the backing plate on the pad. So it's bent it, and that's probably what's caused the uneven wear on this side. But that's from the piston, so obviously this is shifted, so this is cracked off, and you can see how it's cracking all the way along the bottom. I've seen a couple other cases that have done exactly the same, and due to that, that comes off, piston bends the backing, and you're up for another set of pads, which is a little bit annoying. Like these Winmaxes were like 200 and something odd. The rear rotors were another 220, so it was a good way to spend 500 bucks real quick. But when it comes to braking in a slow car, let's face it, that's probably all I've got. As you know, I got 1200 something kilos, and I can brake and stop fairly quickly. I wouldn't say on a dime, but I can stop fairly quickly. It's dirty and crappy and all that stuff. But so I'm gonna compress here and on the back and move the piston further away so I can get these brake pads in. One side goes in here, the other side goes in here. These shims just hold it and stop all the vibration and all that crap. So you're gonna have to put it down, grab the brake pads, pop them in. I've got one in. Make sure that they go in the right way. There is a straight edge and a curved edge. They go with the wheel, so the arch goes with the wheel, not against it, not the opposite way. So these guys are in. Make sure they're all the way down, touching here, vice versa, all the way up, touching the piston. That's why you want the piston out of the way, so you can get as much gap in between here and here, because that's where your rotor's going to sit. These rotors, don't worry about the paint, but there is machining oil all around here, all the way around there. That's obviously because how they're made and to stop rust. Mainly to probably stop rust, I would assume. So we need to clean all that off, or there is going to be a layer of oil in between your pad. So make sure you clean your rotors very well. So I'm going to take them out the front. I'm going to degrease them. Look at the fronts. I've got a nice gouge. Might be time to have a look at these pads too. So rotor can go on. Let's hope it fits and I've bought the right one. Ah, beautiful, look at that. Yeah. So the only difference in between this one and the no-name one, obviously the no-name one being, could be different metal, the amount of research and development probably isn't there, but these will actually fit a different stud pattern. I'm happy with that, really happy. T3 fronts with Project Mu HC800 on the rear, DBA T2 rotors with Winmax W3 pads to pair up with them bad boy new rotors. These are my other pads, so fairly even wear, slightly more meat here than here, but that's good. This is also my indicator, so this will hit my rotor and make a scratching sound, therefore letting you know when your pad should be replaced. So these ones don't come with the actual indicators on them, or an adapter, because I think on the back of these I have like a pin. I'm not sure. They can go on there, I can go on there. So just gonna have to keep track of when I need to replace these bad boys, because yeah, there's no indication to when that metal piece is hitting the actual rotor, and it'll let you know when to change your pads over. So time to pop these bad boys in. This guy can sit back here. Alright, so I got my beautiful eBay spec carbon fiber overlays. The real ones are pointless. Most carbon fiber parts in the A6 are pointless unless it's like an actual heavy item. But I've got carbon fiber, like this is real carbon fiber, this is real carbon fiber. My hood cluster that Adam has at the moment, that's real carbon fiber. This is not real carbon fiber. But just to like finish the accent and bring it from like in here and around and slowly working it, I've got these, which are just 3M, oh, it's not even 3M to be honest, it's just knockoff 3M double-sided tape with a plastic, so it's like a laminate, and it might be real carbon fiber on the top, or it could be printed. It looks real, but it's just one layer, where this is like 5 layers. It's really strong. This is like, look at it, but hey, it looks a hell of a lot nicer. Look, looks like we've got money. Looks like we've got base package. Looks like we've got money. Looks like we've got base package again. I don't know if you can see these, but because they are eBay spec, and we all know eBay parts never fit, it's just sitting up right here. It's very hard to tell. So I'm literally just going to get a knife and cut that out. I'm happy with that. Still do all the buttons. Alright, so I just wanted to do a little bit of an update of a bit of information. I just went on Winmax's page, which is an American brand, if you didn't know, and they go from W1 to W7, which is like a full race pad. Obviously W1 would be like a upgraded pad for an OEM car or anything like that, and then you got WE1, which is pretty much a race pad. That is all we can, like they state it'll probably last up to 3 hours of constant heavy braking, so like it's actually for a circuit car, a track car, that you'll try and win races and stuff like that, because it's pretty much a disposable item, which brake pads they are in a sense, but you do want your money's worth. And yeah, so that's pretty cool, because I don't know if it comes up on the thing, but you got W1, W2, tells you a little brief description. That's what we've got here. Pretty much every brake and rotor manufacturer will have a chart to where that product will sit, whether it's temperature, wear, noise, dust, all that stuff. So do your research and find out what you want for your application and stuff like that. We're pretty much ready to bed these brakes in. I just wanted to double check on their website if they stated anything in particular that may be different to other brands, but it doesn't look like it. So we'll get up to like 80 k's an hour and jack the brakes on. Yeah, nice motion. I don't really have a mount, so you guys are gonna have to face me, unfortunately. I know, it's terrible. Bite. The rear was like really slowing up there. Whoa! Shit! Oh. People are looking at me like, whoa, this car, shit! Whoa! Oh boy! Oh, these are, oh man, I miss what new brake pads and rotors do. Oh, that's so good. It literally stops on a dime. I don't know how, but my vape got yeeted into the back seat. Oh, that's a nice car. Yeah, boy. I would totally drive one of them things. My vape got yeeted in the back though. It's a nice Lexus. It's a nice Lexus. I'm not sure if these new pads and rotors that I've just installed today are actually better than what I previously had. First impressions. They're grouse, they're really bitey, they're really like punchy, like on the point. I guess time can only tell if these are actually better or not, because like different brands and specs and all that stuff, it's hard to tell what's better and what's not, other than personal opinion. And it has now been roughly 2 weeks since I installed the rear pads and rotors, so I want to do an update. Pads and rotors are working very well, don't have any complaints whatsoever so far. How long they last it's a big variation. It could be, you know, if I went to 3 track days, obviously they're not going to last as long as the other ones because I only did 1 track day on it. When I was editing the video, it seemed like I was talking bad about Project Moo. I had no problem until they broke. When it comes to Project Moo pads, I still don't have any major complaints, other than yes, they did break and they did fail as a brake pad. They didn't do their job at the end of the day, but the product was still what I paid for. Why they broke, who knows? It could have been a bad batch. A little bit about that is they changed where the pads were actually being made, therefore the product wasn't as good as they used to be. So unfortunately they've got a little bit of a bad name, but I'm not out to do that. It's all personal preference, and you know, the Project Moo pads are still on the front of my car right now and I'm driving it. I've got no problem. So yeah, I didn't want to talk crap about a product that I really did enjoy. Thank you all for tuning in to Project Driveways vlog. Make sure you subscribe to keep up with our weekly uploads. I'll see you next time. Keep on modding, stay safe.